Hi everyone, it's Missy, and welcome to the last segment of the Bedtime for Dolls crochet tutorial series. And if you have followed along, we should have our nightgown completed, and we completed the bed socks. And our next step is to complete a sash that we're going to weave through this nightgown. And it is the same pattern, basically, that we're using for the headband. And what you're going to need is number 3 lightweight yarn. I'm doing the light blue like I did with the bed socks. A scissors, a tapestry needle. We'll be using the smaller crochet hook. For me, this was the size G, or whatever size you needed to obtain the gauge. And then you're also going to need a ruler or a yardstick. I'm using a yardstick here because we will have to measure how long we make our sash. And also, if you guys do not have a copy yet, I am providing a link below in the description field where you can get a printable copy of the Red Heart yarn pattern. It's free. And then I also have a link below to the other tutorials if you did miss them. So, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is create a slip knot, and we will chain 4. We're going to slip stitch in the first chain to form a ring. And basically what we're doing is we're making this flower. There's a flower motif at each end of the tie. So this is going to be the middle of our flower. So to make that, we are first going to slip stitch inside the ring, and then we will chain 2, and then we'll create 1 double crochet. This is all in the ring. We'll chain 2 again. And then we're just going to repeat this pattern again, so a total of 5 times, so 4 more times. We'll slip stitch in the ring, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2. So as you can see, we're creating these petals. So it's a 5-petal flower. So we'll repeat it a 3rd time, slip stitch, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, and 4th time, slip stitch, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, and then the last time, slip stitch, chain 2, double crochet, and chain 2. There we go. And then to end the flower motif, we will join with a slip stitch in the beginning slip stitch we made in the ring. So there's my slip stitch. And then we'll just slip stitch again. And there is our nice, pretty little flower. I think this is so cute. And you could do other shapes too if you're creative enough. And you could do like a circle, or you could do triangle or star or whatever you want. But I do prefer the flower. But now that we've done the motif, this is the end of our tie. We are actually going to create the length of the tie, and all you have to do for that is to do chain stitches. And so you just go along. There's no set count for this. So all you do is you keep chaining, and then you want to make the chain stitches have to be 30 inches long. So this is where your ruler or your yardstick comes into play. you know, and I just go along and then you just measure out. Of course I haven't done that many, but so I've done about an inch worth, so which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chains for an inch for me. So I guess I could calculate it out and go, oh, well, I need 30 inches, so 30 times 5, I would need to make 150 chains. But, you know, I might be like 148 or something like that, and when I have it all measured out. So, but just make sure that your chain stitches are 30 inches long, and then we'll come back and we'll do another flower motif. Okay, so I made my tie 30 inches long. I measured it, and of course it doesn't fit in my camera shot, but it is full 30 inches. So we are ready to make the same flower motif that we made here on this end of the sash. And to do that, you are going to slip stitch in the 4th chain from hook. And this just forms our ring. And then we are actually just going to do, it says in the pattern to actually repeat the flower motif that we had previously made. So to do that, we're going to slip stitch in the ring. Chain 2, double crochet, and chain 2, and we're doing this again 5 times. So we slip stitch, chain 2, double crochet, and chain 2. Now it gets a little tricky because you have this tie right here. You just fold that off to the side and go on the other side with the 3rd one. So we'll just slip stitch, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2. So we made 3 petals, so we slip stitch, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2. Now we'll be making our last petal, slip stitch, chain 2, double crochet, and chain 2. And then we complete it by slip stitching in the 1st slip stitch of the flower motif. Okay, so we have a 5 petal flower that matches this one on this end. And basically now all we have to do is just fasten off our yarn. So just cut it, fasten off, and then we just weave in our ends. So I just take my tapestry needle, and on this end, on the other end, I have my end woven in around this circle so I can actually pull on it to tighten it. This is a bigger hole because I didn't have that. It's just the chain 4 space. So I'm just going to take my needle and go right under these stitches and then all the way around. That way I can pull on the thread and close that opening so it's not so big. Okay, so now that I got all the way around, I just pull really tight and that closes the opening. And then to secure it from reopening, you just go backwards. So you like go over the top of the stitch and you just sew under those stitches the other way. And this helps from pulling the yarn back through again. Just like that. You only have to do a few stitches, you don't have to go all the way around. So then all I do is I just cut the end off, just like that. And there we go. And now the directions say that we just weave the tie through the first round of shell stitches on the body of the nightgown. So I'll show you. Of course, I have my nightgown on my doll, but you can still do that. This is the first row of shell stitches right here, right under the yoke where we did this kind of like ribbing effect. So all you do is you take your motif and then you just kind of poke it through the holes just like that. So you kind of go around the shell. So this is the shell stitch, and then you go right into this bigger hole, poke it through, and then you come out this other hole over here. And you just keep going all the way around, and then when you're at the end, we can tie it, and then we'll have the sash done for our doll, and then I'll show you how to do the headband. Okay, so I already started the headband here because it's basically the same as the sash. You start with the same motif, and then you go along and you do the chains. The only exception is you do the chain stitches for 18 inches rather than 30 inches. So I measured it out, and I have a few more stitches to go yet before I do 18. Let's see if I can go with that. There we go. So that's 18 stitches. That's basically the only exception to the headband. Otherwise, we're still going to slip stitch in the 4th chain from hook. And then we're still going to make the motif the same, where we slip stitch in the ring, chain 2, and double crochet, and chain 2 again. And just keep repeating that pattern. So you got 5 petals on the ring. And if you guys, I'm going to try to hurry up and finish this here so I could show you how to finish the headband. But otherwise, if you guys need to see more detail, all you need to do is back up to the beginning of this video. And basically the hardest part is making sure you don't twist your chains that you're making in the pattern. Okay, so I'm on my last petals, so I'm chaining 2, double crochet, chain 2, and slip stitch in the first slip stitch I made. There we go. Then we just fasten off. And then I'll weave in my ends later, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you actually how this headband works. So I got my sash in the nightgown, and I just tied a bow. And then you're basically doing the same thing with the headband. I'll put her head down so you can see. I'm just running the headband behind her neck, like so. And then you just come up to the top of her head. And then you just kind of pull it tight, and you make a bow, just like that. Oops. So you got this kind of this flower petal bow on top of her hair. See if I can show you guys. So it looks kind of like that. So it's very similar to the picture on the pattern. Yeah, and with the sash and everything, I think she looks really good. So that's the completed outfit. That's it. So once you've completed that bit, we're done. Yay! And if for those of you who like this video, please make sure that you give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, you can give me a comment and I will gladly try to help you out as best I can. Also, please leave a comment if you have a suggestion for a pattern that you would like to see me do. And if you want to, you can actually buy this completed outfit featured in this video on my Etsy shop, and I got a link below for that too. But I hope you guys had fun. I know I did, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye!